This is Solar PV TV from the event of SolarPower Europe, former EPIA 100 gigawatt celebration. And we are together with Dr. Winfried Hoffmann, former President of SolarPower Europe, of EPIA, one of the persons, I would say, who are also in charge of this 100 gigawatt achievement. Hello, Winfried.
Hello, it's very nice to be here for this great celebration. Very good.
So, Winfried, you remember we were together since 14 years, actually, yeah? When I started work for EPIA. Okay. You were one of the people who employed me.
So, at the change of the century, I think if I look back, our industry was really very, very tiny.
But today it's huge.
And by now, it has increased dramatically. So, and that's a great achievement. And for sure, Europe has done a great job with all the individual member countries, with the feed-in tariff system developed in Germany and then taken over by many other European countries. And that was actually the reason to pave the way to reach now the 100 gigawatt. And what's also nice is that fortunately we see a global development. And if we had waited...
So we are not stressed anymore, like you remember, yeah? We're always stressed every year what will happen with FIT in Germany.
In Europe would do the job. So in 2008, you remember, it was Spain, and then it was Germany, and then in the last years it was Great Britain and Italy. So that was very, very difficult to get a stable development for the global industry. But fortunately, China has taken up very nicely, not only in producing the modules and all the stuff, but also to be now the #1 in annual installations, which is great. And
we were dreaming about it.
That me?
We were dreaming about it.
For sure. And I was just saying to the Vice President whether he knew, and maybe you don't know it either. Guess what is the effective cost of PV electricity in Germany today? What is it?
In Germany, 8 cents.
It's 5 cents a kilowatt hour.
Wow.
It's 5 cents a kilowatt hour. And that is if you just take the latest PPAs, power purchase agreements, and if you take into account if you have a 2.5% inflation over 20 years and then an additional 10 years of lifetime, so over 30 years, you calculate and you arrive at an effective cost of 5 cents a kilowatt hour in Germany, and it's 2 cents a kilowatt hour in Chile.
Yes, yes. And you know, the tender in Abu Dhabi, it was crazy, yeah?
Dubai, that was 2.5 cents. So what was said before, I think we are already comparable to to coal. We are much cheaper than clean coal, and we are 5 times cheaper than new nuclear. 5 times cheaper. Imagine, 5 times. Well, if I had said this statement 10 years ago, people would have told me, wow, you are crazy. But now it's reality. It's just the numbers from the market.
But you remember when we were dreaming about, I think, like 10 cents, yeah? It was almost not achievable, yeah?
Yeah, well, but fortunately, with the volume increasing and with the development of the market globally, that's important. So that's a great achievement. So we have a bright future, for sure. And let's also just try very hard to get also the production side, not only the installation side, really running in Europe, to have many places for our kids and grandsons and daughters to really make it happen for the future. So I'm looking forward.
So Winfried, do you think, because now we are discussing with a lot of politicians on different levels, with also financial guys, we are speaking now about 100% of renewables with the leading role of solar. Do you think this is achievable, and if yes, why and when?
At least the goal to go towards 100%, whether it's the 95 or 98, I don't care. So movement towards 100%. And that is not only for electricity. I think what we really should strive towards is the total energy.
The power.
Not only power. All energy needs, they should be covered, and technology-wise and financially-wise, we could do that at latest by the mid of the century. Well, in reality, here and there, it may take a little bit longer. Just by investments done today, which sooner or later will be stranded investments. So if I just said, if you have a new nuclear 5 times more expensive today compared to PV, why is India and China and some other countries investing in new nuclear?
Because maybe they have still the old reports, you know?
Yeah, of course. I'm sure they are not aware of the reality. That's it. So we have to really convince them and tell them how things are developing. And then once the financial world will have understood this statement, the billions will flow to renewables, to solar, to wind, and other renewables. So I'm looking forward very positively.
So Winfried, the last question, because today we are at 100 gigawatt event. When do you think we will have the 200 gigawatt event?
Well, to be honest, that is a little bit the sad story. So we have been really the world leaders in installation of PV. And some years ago, we had more than 20 gigawatts in 1 year installed. At this moment, we are down to 6 plus minus. And next year, well, it may be even at around 5. So we are not harvesting the fruits what other countries now effectively do. So if we are at 5 gigawatts a year, then another 100 would take 20 years. But I am quite optimistic it will not take 20 years.
I think you would, dispute with Hans-Josef Fell. He's more optimistic than you.
But the 3 years to get 150, what our vice president just said before, that is just not possible with the situation we are in. And you have to tell them that he has to get more supportive elements. And
less barriers, yeah?
He mentioned some. So self-use of PV electricity and an end. So things have again to be pushed forward. So I would hope that the next 100 gigawatt will not take another 30 years as it took for the first 100. And it will definitely not take 20 years. But I would hope within the next 5 to 10 years we will reach it.
And Dr. Hoffmann is here around, yes, to help also with this goal.
I will. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
That was Solar PV TV together with Dr. Winfried Hoffmann, our old, young president of SolarPower Europe, of EPIA, and the person who is still optimistic about European market in Europe. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.